Hi, and welcome to the driver's seat. This is a historic day in Jackson, Wyoming, where Rolls-Royce has introduced its first ever SUV, the Cullinan. Now, I can hear the purists saying, oh my God, Rolls-Royce and SUV? You gotta be kidding me. Well, you can't be a car company anymore and not have an SUV. Porsche has them, Jaguar has them, Bentley has them. So of course Rolls-Royce is going to make one, and let me tell you, this is the Rolls-Royce of SUVs. As you might imagine with a Rolls-Royce, this car has presence. This car is big. The overall length is 210 inches, the overall width is 79 inches, and the overall height is 72 inches. This is the tallest Rolls-Royce ever made. It also weighs 6,000 pounds. So moving 3 tons of SUV down the highway does take a little bit of power, and this baby has a little bit of power under the hood. You have this massive 563 horsepower V12 engine, turbocharged, gets this thing up and running 0 to 60 in 5 seconds. That alone is crazy. The thing that's really amazing about the engine is not that it's quick, but it just pulls and pulls and pulls. The torque comes on early and stays on well up until you get to its limited top speed of 155 miles an hour. So you can take this thing from climbing a mountain to the Autobahn without doing anything. This does have the ZF 8-speed transmission, a phenomenal transmission, and in Rolls-Royce, this transmission is satellite aided. It actually uses the GPS to read the road ahead and then make adjustments to the transmission, put you in the right gear before you actually need to, so you never feel a shift. The suspension system in this car is fully independent with a 5-link in the rear and double wishbone suspension up front. It also has air suspension, which helps with the ride leveling and loading, and it allows you to raise the car up to 40 millimeters or lower it up to 40 millimeters depending on the terrain you're going over. So if you're fording a particularly deep river, go ahead and hit that button and you'll be able to go 40 millimeters deeper. If you want to have, if you're taking it out for the evening and you want to make it easy to get in and out of, then you go ahead and lower it down 40 millimeters and you can slide right in this car. Now you have a little over 9 inches of ground clearance on Cullinan, so you can go over some pretty serious terrain. You've got a very short overhang up front, so attack angle is actually pretty good. The overhang in rear is a little longer, and I certainly wouldn't want to head out to Moab or any of those kind of places with this, but you can climb some pretty significant terrain and get yourself into some pretty remote places with Cullinan. Cullinan has an all-terrain 4-wheel drive system activated just by pressing one button, and then you can scroll through different options for that off-road, from traditional off-roading to sand to mud and snow and other terrain. When you put it in off-road mode, it does a number of things. Obviously, it changes the 4-wheel drive and the capability of that, but it also changes the throttle mapping so that you have to push harder to make it go. It stiffens up the air suspension so that you don't get quite so much bounce, and it changes the shift points on the transmission. It is effortless, and with this all-wheel drive system, Cullinan is effortless anywhere. We drove it this morning up Snow King Mountain, appropriately named here in Jackson Hole, and I was really blown away by the capability of this thing, and not just the capability, but the comfort of this capability. A lot of nice touches in the interior of this car. One of the things I really like right now, because it's 30 degrees out and snowing, is when you turn on the heated steering wheel and the heated seats, you also get heated armrests. So everything is just warming and comforting, and it makes you feel so good driving in this car. I love every touch point on this car, from the leather on the steering wheel to the metal around the dials to the organ stops here for the vents. You know, every detail is just right. You have this book matched wood veneer that mirrors itself as it goes around the car. Hand stitched leathers are unbelievable. Leather headliners. A bespoke sound system, a really nice navigation and entertainment system on the dash. You can get the Cullinan in 2 seating configurations. There's a 5-passenger version, which I'm in now, which has more of the bench back seat. But they also offer a back seat with 2 chairs, a center console, and that center console, of course, has your champagne chiller, has places for your glasses, all that good stuff. It really has that magic carpet ride that Rolls-Royce talks about in Phantom and its other vehicles. When you drive it on the highway, it just glides along, and it is super quiet because you have double insulated glass all around. You have 300 pounds of insulation material placed throughout this car, so you barely even hear this engine when it's running. And Continental created special tires for this vehicle that have foam inside of them that helps minimize road noise. Cullinan is really reaching out to a new market for Rolls-Royce, a more active lifestyle. Pricing starts at $325,000, which obviously is a fair piece of change, but that's what you expect to pay for a Rolls-Royce these days as a starting price. Of course, when you get in and you start adding options and you start adding bespoke design to your Cullinan, it could cost more. It could cost a whole lot more. There really is no finer motor car made than a Rolls-Royce. Now, there are faster cars, there are sportier cars, there are more exciting cars, but if you want the highest expression of a luxury automobile and the highest expression of luxury lifestyle, there's no brand better than Rolls-Royce. Well, there you have it. Rolls-Royce Cullinan, the most luxurious SUV ever created, and I've had a great time driving it around Jackson, Wyoming. Hope you've enjoyed riding along with me. For the driver's seat, I'm Harvey Briggs.